In this chapter, we're also looking at the vocabulary of algebraic terms. Algebraic expressions are written with terms, and terms are separated by plus or minus signs. For example, 8x plus 3y minus 2x squared plus 15. This expression has four terms. The terms are 8x, 3y, negative 2x squared, and 15. Terms can be single numbers, such as constants. They can be variables or letters, or they can be the product of a number, which is called a coefficient, and the variable. Here's an expression with 8x plus y minus 3 minus 2x squared plus 15. This example has 5 terms, and the terms are made up of constants, variables, and coefficients. Look at the constants, the numbers by themselves. These are negative 3 and positive 15. A constant is just a number that is standing alone. It's constant because its value is always the same. It doesn't change. Variables are letters, such as x and y, that represent an unknown value. This example has x and y as variables. It could also be x squared or y squared. It could be a, b, any variable. Any letter is a variable. Here we have 3 coefficients. A coefficient is a number that is in front of a variable. The number includes the sign. It can be a positive coefficient or a negative coefficient. If you look at our variable x, the number in front of it is 8. So that is the coefficient. 8 is the coefficient. The coefficient in front of x squared is a negative 2. We always include the sign with the coefficient. If you look at the variable y, because y stands alone, we know the coefficient is 1. It's an invisible coefficient, but there is one y, so if we did put a number in front of y, it would be a 1. A variable by itself has an invisible coefficient of positive 1 or negative 1. In the example above, positive y equals positive 1y. Negative x would equal negative 1x. In this expression here, we have x plus x plus x minus x. This is the same thing as saying 1x plus 1x plus 1x minus 1x. Because these coefficients are invisible, or in a sense, they represent 1x. So this is 3x minus 1x, or 2x. So when you see a variable standing alone, remember it's representing one of that variable. To simplify expressions, we have to combine like terms. Terms with the same variable can be combined, and constants can be combined. Let's circle the x terms. In this expression, we have a 9x plus x and a minus 2x. If we underline the constants, we see a negative 3 and a positive 15. Combining the x terms, we get 10x minus 2x, or 8x. If we combine the constants, we get negative 3 plus 15, or 12. So this expression can be simplified by combining the x terms and combining the constants, and we get 8x plus 12. Here's another example. This example has 4 different types of terms. There's terms that have a variable of x, terms with variables of xy, terms with a y, and terms that are constant. The 6x is the x terms because we have 9x minus 3x. We have 10xy minus 2xy, which equals 8xy. And we have 15 just y's and negative 9. So when we combine like terms and simplify this expression, we get 6x plus 8xy plus 15y minus 9. The order for simplifying expressions when you see parentheses like this is to first do the distributive property. After we do the distributive property, we get 6y minus 3x plus 6y, because negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6y. Next, we can combine like terms. 6y plus 6y is 12y minus 3x. Now we can arrange the variable terms in alphabetical order. So we would put negative 3x plus 12y. We always do the distributive property first. Always do distributive property before we combine like terms. Always use the distributive property before combining like terms. And remember to circle the sign, whether it's negative or positive, with the term. So in this example, it says 72x plus 7x times x minus 6 in parentheses. We're not going to add 72 plus 7x. That is not the first step. The first step is the distributive property. So we multiply 7x times x. We get 72x plus 7x squared, and then we'd multiply 7x times negative 6, and we get negative 42x. After we've completed the distributive property, then we can combine like terms. We circle the terms that are named x. So we have 72x minus 42x, and that leaves us with 30x. When we're finished, we write it in simplified form, 7x squared plus 30x. In summary, the distributive property uses multiplication to create a simplified equivalent expression. Expressions are made up of one or more terms. Terms are single numbers, variables, or the product of a number and a variable. These are called constants. The constant is a single number. A variable, which is a letter used to represent an unknown quantity, or coefficients. The coefficient is the number next to the variable. It does not include the variable. It is only the number that is next to the variable. To simplify expressions, we use the distributive property first, and then we combine like terms. And that's all.